Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and we're back with another one. And today we're going to be reacting to Future from Donatachi featuring Ayesha Erotica. And forgive me, Yvncc. I have no idea how to say that. Yvncc. If somebody wants to help me out with that in the comments, I would appreciate it. I'm sick of all these names. They're just consonants. It doesn't make any sense. But regardless, let's get right into this. Thank you to No for the suggestion. And without any further ado, let's see what Future is all about. Let's see what Donatachi, Ayesha Erotica, and Yvncc got to say. Let's get it.
Donatachi, Ayesha Erotica, so fucked up right now. Oh my god. Does anyone have a buff for a fucking slut?
Wow.
Fucking slut, oh my god, fuck.
Wild. I did not expect EDM. That was probably the last thing I expected. Really nice production coming in. It works. The ramp up works well. The drop works well. We'll get a little further into it and see how well it really translates into the rest of the track. But nice sound. The vocal mix works. It's very classic sound. Like I feel like I've heard that type of like ramp up vocal quality so many times, and it makes me think of like a commercial or something. I'm not sure exactly. And then also the nerd in me just has to mention, love this album cover. We got it on the timeline as if it's in like an actual session. No, it looks like it's on a decibel meter, or not even. I have no idea what that scale at the bottom is, but having all the layers, Vox, bass. For those of you who don't know, Vox is the abbreviation for vocal. I don't know why, but that's what we use in the industry. Let's get to it.
Fuck. I mean, some cocktail with my tits out, fat too quick, and that's a big flex out. Ain't showing up unless the big dick's out. Bitch talk slick, I'm knocking that bitch out. And I'm going through a wallet. The bitch phone, but a man still calling. It's their boots or something, I frolic. So when it's done, the whole club demolished. Order a hit in the tutu. They ain't like me, them hoes.
Super wacky, like super fast. We're probably at around like 144 BPM if they're trying to keep it true to like real like dubstep EDM type of sound. You know, there's a lot of variations in there. A lot of styles of electronic music are actually like hugely determined by the BPM. 144 is like dubstep is 144. If it's not 144, it's not dubstep. If it, house is so and so. If it's not that, it's not house. And that, there's a million other we could go through. But regardless, flow, it's keeping up well, really lining up with the structure of the beat. When you have so much speed in the instrumental, it makes sense to line up with the beat that much because you really don't have that big of a pocket to move around in. But let's see where it goes.
And I frolic. So when it's done, the whole club demolished. Order a hit in the tutu. They ain't like me, them hoes foo-foo. Pull up in a Emilio Pucci with the Mew Mew. That bitch shit on the dick, she went poo-poo. They ain't always with a fat bitch sing horn. Bitch 35 talking about fiend core. I been selling from Oakland to Kmore. And I got the pink cocaine, the bitch sing for it.
Yeah, very interesting feel to this track too, where this is one of those tracks where the vocal, in my opinion, takes on more of a instrumental role rather than an actual vocal role. Obviously, they have lyrics, they're saying things, but I don't think that the meaning of what they're saying is all that crucial. It's more about the energy, it's about the vibe, it's about creating an atmosphere. And then the vocals are also set just a little bit closer to the beat. They're still clear and present, but they're not as far above the beat as you might typically expect with like the rap we listen to on the channel normally. That is a crazy drop. I've listened to a decent amount of EDM and, music of the like with some crazy drops. Centipede is one of my favorite. Boom, boom, Centipede. And like so many other great ones. Knife Party. There's so just I could go on and on. It's been a long time since I've listened to that stuff usually. Fumando by I think Bauer, or maybe not by Bauer, but Fumando is a great one if you can find it. Regardless, really nice drop, really great synth work on here, a lot of interesting stuff going on. The mix, like I said, it works well. The layers are pretty well balanced. It is hard for me to keep track of the vocal, but I do think that's more of a speed in addition to the beat rather than a mixing thing. Very, very interesting. Extremely unique. I will hand Aisha that. Every project I've seen her on is something I have never heard before. Uh, yeah. This is wild. Yeah. Really great pacing, really nice drums. That kick is just driving. The synth over the top has so much texture in it. And honestly, all I want to do right now is dance with a girl that's wearing a chrome bikini while I got a sailor hat on and and a couple like beaded bracelets. Got some gloves on. I'm doing the glove thing. I'm like tutting with the lights on my fingers. If that's still a thing, let me know. Do people still glove these days? If not, you know, it was a trend, but I guess I can see why it may have disappeared. But let's keep it going. This is wild.
On the ground round my ankle. Suck a big dick with two Chanel bangles. Up and I'm ready to go. Put it in drive and hit the road. 35 any in that mode. With a big fat monster for me.
See, what's really interesting about this track, and maybe this is just my ignorance coming more from a rap standpoint, is there are a couple points in here where it feels like we kind of leave behind the pulse, and it seems like the track actually like detracts from being super danceable when it does that, because then you got this weird like, okay, it's like slightly slower, or like it's still the same speed, but I lost the pulse, and all these different things. I'm curious what intended purpose, Don Itachi, Aisha, and Yvncc had in mind for this track when they created it. Did they see it as like an EDM track, or is it some type of fusion? Obviously, there's a lot of vocal elements for EDM, so there's some type of like rap fusion coming in, maybe. But beyond that, where do they go? Especially with these transition sections where we kind of fudge the line on what the tempo is and where the punches and the downbeats are hitting.
Fuck up the wave, and if that bitch ain't a wave, we gon' fuck up the wave. Bitch, you know it shots down, we gon' fuck up the wave. These bitches fucking football rules like we gon' fuck up the wave. And if the pills fucking press, I'ma fuck up the wave. They play hard south, but I'ma fuck up the wave. I got my boys stripping pockets, they gon' fuck up the wave. And 30 bitches on stage, they gon' fuck up the wave.
Yo, at that drop, there's like this wind synth just it's like screaming in the background, but faintly screaming. Wow, that is crazy. Hold up. Dog, I've been really having fun playing around with synth stuff lately. There's this analog plugin for Ableton, which is just a digital version of an analog synth. It has two oscillators. You got LFOs and everything. I'm probably boring those of y'all who aren't nerds about production, but but this the sounds on this are just gorgeous. I mean, it's a really cool track, super unique. Like I said, like nothing I've ever heard before, and a lot of great little pockets. And the amount of like drops that we've gotten throughout the track kind of catches me off guard. But again, I almost imagine this working really well in like a DJ's set, of course, in like some type of rave atmosphere where there's crazy strobe lights and glitter falling from the ceiling and who knows what else might be happening. And I'm a big fan of the like pews coming in the background, like pew pew pew. Just every so often, they got a little bit of a wetness to them too, which really helps fill out the track because all the rest of the synth sounds are like fairly dry. And I'm not talking about like a wet versus dry ratio right now, but more just like the actual quality of the sound.
Ayesha Erotica. So fucked up right now.
I like it. End on the moan. I'm a fan of moans in tracks. As long as they're not like so overt that like it's embarrassing to listen to it with people. But I realized what the vocal from the beginning reminded me of. It's not a commercial, it's radio. The different like little cut-ins on radio when you do like when you have like an ad or something come in or when they're advertising like the next show that's coming on at the top of the hour. But I've had radio on the mind right now because I'm actually working on a radio show that'll be starting very soon here. But that was Future from Donatachi featuring Ayesha Erotica, and I know I'm saying this wrong, Yvncc. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I certainly did. Certainly caught me off guard as well. But thank you again to Nano for the suggestion. Keep them coming in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell if you want to see more videos like this. Much love to everybody in the No Shoes Gang, and I will see you all next time.